Hey gang, it's Squill, and it's real! Fionna and Cake is real! And it looks amazing. Like, this has the potential to be one of the best Adventure Time things ever. I did a little reaction video to the trailer immediately after watching it, so watch that if you want to hear me sound like an absolute lunatic for 10 minutes. But now that I've had time to calm down, watch the trailer a few thousand times, and really think about what I was watching, I wanted to analyze the trailer and discuss what we can expect for the show. So the trailer begins with a pretty realistic looking urban setting. It already looks nothing like the Fionna and Cake episodes of Adventure Time. Fionna is a normal human working at a coffee shop, and Cake is a regular, non-talking, non-magic cat. In the Fionna and Cake episodes of Adventure Time, the world always appeared to be the same as our OO, but with gender-flipped characters. So how come all of a sudden the setting is completely different? My theory is that the Fionna and Cake universe was created by Ice King, similar to how Finn created the Pillow World in Puhoi. I think Ice King being turned back to Simon may have removed all of the fantasy elements from the Fionna and Cake world. Simon no longer being affected by the magic of the crown removed the magic from Fionna and Cake. Fionna and Cake themselves even seem to be aware of the fact that their world should have magic in it but doesn't anymore. Along with Fionna and Cake themselves, we see plenty of non-magical versions of characters we're familiar with. In the second shot, we see Magic Woman's hat on top of some sign. In this shot, we see an alarm clock version of BMO. Outside of the aquarium, we get a statue of two penguins. We can assume that the penguins inside the aquarium would have been ice queens. Next, we get a human version of Marshall Lee playing guitar. Easily my favorite design here. He's just so damn cool looking. Oh, and in case you're wondering why Marshall Lee is dark-skinned instead of pale like he was in the original show, well, in this show, his half-demon side is completely gone. And since Marceline's mom and presumably Marshall Lee's dad is black, we can assume in a universe in which they weren't half-demon, they would have much darker skin. Anyways, in this next shot, we see a female version of Ash, Wildberry Prince, and Hot Dog Prince, who is just a dog now. Next, we see Prince Gumball as a barista. On the bus, we see a human female version of Fern. I'm not sure who these two humans in front of her are supposed to be, but it's possible that they're just random human characters. Okay, quick addendum. According to Painter's CP on the Ready to Start podcast, who got to watch the first episode early at Comic-Con, these characters are a Banana Guard and Hot Dog Princess. So I guess who I thought was Hot Dog Princess earlier might just be a Hot Dog Night. So my mistake. And the video will continue now. Also on the bus, we see who is clearly supposed to be Abracadaniel. And lastly, here we have a human version of Lumpy Space Prince. This design is one of my favorites actually, giving him a puffy purple coat to mimic LSP's lumps. Overall, I really love the decision to turn the Fionna and Cake world into what is essentially our world. A part of why the Fionna and Cake episodes of Adventure Time never really interested me much is because their world just sort of feels like a more boring version of OO. So this was an excellent way to set Fionna and Cake apart more and make it its own thing. It almost kinda gives me Elements vibes with these weird bizarro versions of the characters and world. Hell, the fact that Cake can't talk in the series and will presumably gain the ability to, either by the end of episode 1 or sometime early on within the miniseries, means that Fionna and Cake themselves will have an entirely new dynamic completely separate from Finn and Cake. Which is great, just another thing that'll set this world and these characters apart from regular OO. The first shot we get outside of the Fionna and Cake universe is Fionna in this Sailor Moon-esque outfit, wielding a hammer. This will probably be from some one-off universe, likely somewhere in the middle of the show, but I do really like that the show will be experimenting with different art styles. We also get a shot of Cake saving two people from the same episode, not really sure who they're supposed to be or what their significance is. We then get a shot of a futuristic-looking human society. First time I saw it, I thought it looked like the drift from the BMO Distant Land special, but I actually think this shot takes place in OO, and we're seeing the future of the human society. The human clothing here is very reminiscent of the designs we see in Island, so this is clearly after they've been settled in U for a long time. Hopefully this means we'll get to see Minerva again. We get another shot of the human society, but this time with Cake staring at it. After that we get our first shot of Simon, who is clearly a lot older than he was in Obsidian, with some wrinkles and gray hair. Whenever we see Simon in this trailer, he always just looks super stressed out. He is likely still coping with the fact that he used to be Ice King, along with losing Betty. We then get the shot of Fionna and Cake running through what appears to be U. I actually think this might be a flashback to a previous Fionna and Cake adventure from before the magic was drained from their world. Maybe it's another tape we see, like in Fionna and Cake and Fionna. There's the shot of Fionna running as a mailman, but then transforms into a lifeguard. Not really sure what's up with this. Maybe something's messing with her reality that's making her change professions, I don't know. We get another Simon shot where he's super stressed out. I'm guessing this is from the same scene as the last Simon shot, since it also appears to be in a bathroom. There's a shot of Cake facing off against a beaver. It's interesting that Cake still appears to be a regular non-magic cat. I do wonder at what point in the series she'll turn back into the Cake we're already familiar with. There's a shot of Simon in front of this crazy fish monster. Interestingly enough, we don't see Simon with Fionna and Cake at all in this trailer. They're always separated. So I do wonder how much of the series we'll actually see them together in. Granted, they do appear together on the poster, so who knows. We get a shot of Simon walking through the forest that's very reminiscent of this shot from Everything Stays. Next we get a shot of candy zombies from Simon and Marcy. And a couple seconds later we get what is easily one of the most exciting shots in this entire trailer. The fact that we're getting some more Simon and Marcy flashbacks is so cool. I honestly didn't expect to get any considering this series isn't about Marceline, but hey, I'll gladly accept them. We do know that PB and Marceline are both supposed to make appearances in this, so I'm definitely curious as to what their roles are supposed to be. We also get another Simon and Marcy shot near the end of the trailer. There's a shot of Fionna and this kid dressed up as Fionna on this weird Fionna rocket flying through a land of fire people. Then in the very next shot we see the same kid looking through a garage with a Fionna and Cake book in the garbage. We can also see Simon's leg right next to it. This kid appears to be a Fionna and Cake fangirl, possibly a relative of the fake Fionna we see in Fionna and Cake and Fionna. She's likely trying to find the real Fionna and Cake, much like Ice King did in the original show. And this scene here is likely Simon discouraging her from doing that out of embarrassment for the person he used to be. Right here we get a shot of this fire monster fighting some alien bug thing, which I'm guessing is from the same episode as this shot earlier. There's a shot of Fionna chasing Cake. I'm guessing that Cake is running towards some sort of portal to U, which will eventually lead to this shot of Cake in the human society. Again, Cake seems to be aware that her world is supposed to have magic in it, so if a portal opens up leading to U, a place filled with magic, then it makes sense that Cake would chase after it. We then get another one of the most exciting shots in the trailer of Simon being carried by an older Finn. I honestly did not think Finn would be in this series at all, outside of alternate versions of him, so the fact that he is very exciting. We get a better look at him on the poster. He seems to be a lot older than he was in Obsidian, so I'm guessing he's somewhere in his 30s. I honestly have no idea what his role in the show will be, but the fact that he's on the poster means it must be significant. All I know is that this show has the opportunity to do the funniest thing possible, improve my video about the mischaracterization of Finn even more right than it already was. In the same shot, we also see this bird with what appears to be Marceline's face on it. Not really sure what this is about. We then see Cake pouncing on what appears to be the squirrel from up a tree. We then get this really cool guest animated shot of what appears to be a cross between Simon and Ice King playing piano. I'm guessing this is some alternate universe Simon and not our Simon. This is probably also part of a musical number written by Rebecca Sugar, since she's been confirmed to have written music for the show. Here's another exciting shot of Fionna and Cake running into Prismo's time room, baby. Prismo is back. It'll be his first speaking role since crossover all the way back in season 7. But it makes sense that he'd be involved considering that the story deals so heavily with the multiverse. Maybe we'll finally get to meet his boss. We then get a clip of Fionna saying that she knew her life was supposed to be magical, which again just adds to my earlier theory. I'm guessing in this scene Prismo tells her what drained the magic from her world. She probably wishes to bring the magic back or something along those lines. Then our final shot is of Fionna and Cake jumping out of the time room, which I'm actually guessing is going to be from the intro, since not only is the animation a lot more fluid than the actual show, but according to someone who got to see the intro in a Warner Bros. Panel back in June, there is a shot of Fionna and Cake jumping out of the time room. So that's the trailer, but before we go, I want to quickly discuss the contents of the poster. There's Finn, who I've already discussed. There's Gumball and Marceline, who I don't really have anything to say about. But we also see Marceline implying that she has a major role in this series too, which makes sense considering the Simon and Marcy flashbacks. We also see this mysterious new character with an eye patch who looks to be an antagonist. They also appear to be a human character, so I wonder if they come from Ooh. And last but certainly not least, we see Ice King, meaning we'll definitely be getting tons of Ice King flashbacks, either during or just before the original series. Ice King is my favorite fictional character of all time, so I'm definitely super excited to get some more content focused around him. As a whole, I could not be more hyped for this show. August 31st can't come soon enough. Everything about the show just looks incredible, both as a fan of Adventure Time and a fan of television. We have 4 hours of Adventure Time content on the way, with possibly more down the line according to Mudo. It is a super exciting time to be an Adventure Time fan, and I can't wait to cover the series as it airs. Please let me know your hopes and predictions for this show in the comments, and have a good one. Squill out.